It's a Tuesday afternoon in 1996, and a man walks into the Stardust Casino in Las Vegas. He's wearing baggy clothes, nothing flashy. To everyone around him, he looks like just another gambler about to lose his paycheck. He sits down at a slot machine, feeds in a few dollars, and starts playing. 3 minutes later, the machine erupts. Jackpot, $2,500. He calmly cashes out and walks away like it's nothing. Because to him, it is nothing. He's done this thousands of times before. Here's what nobody in that casino knows. The game isn't rigged against him. He's rigged it against them. Hidden in his pocket is a device smaller than a pen that can turn any slot machine in Nevada into his personal ATM. And he's been using it for nearly a decade. His name is Tommy Glenn Carmichael, and he's about to become the most successful slot machine cheat in history. By the time casinos finally figure out what he's doing, he'll have stolen over $20 million from under their noses. Not from one casino, not from 10, from hundreds of casinos across America. This is the story of a TV repairman who turned into a criminal genius, a man who declared war on Las Vegas and won for 20 years. A story of cat and mouse, innovation and desperation, where the house didn't always win, and it all started with a knock on his door and a piece of bent wire. Let's rewind to 1980. Tommy Carmichael is living in Tulsa, Oklahoma, working as a TV repairman. It's honest work, but it's boring. Day after day, he opens up broken television sets, studies the circuits, and figures out how to make them work again. He's good at it, really good. To Tommy, every machine is just a puzzle, and he spent his whole life solving puzzles. Then one day, an old friend named Ray Ming shows up at his door holding something strange. It's a crude device made from guitar wire and a bent piece of metal. Ray's got this look in his eyes, this mixture of excitement and paranoia. Tommy, you need to see this. They drive out to a small casino in Nevada. Tommy's confused, wondering what this trip is about. Ray walks up to an old mechanical slot machine, the kind with spinning reels and chrome finish. He glances around to make sure nobody's watching. Then he slides this homemade tool into the coin slot. What happens next changes Tommy's life forever. The machine starts going crazy. Coins pour out, jackpot after jackpot. Tommy stands there watching quarters cascade into the tray, and his mind is racing. This machine that's supposed to be random, supposed to be unbeatable, has just been cracked wide open by a piece of bent metal that probably cost 50 cents to make. Ray explains how it works. The old mechanical slots use a series of switches to count coins. This device, called a top-bottom joint, tricks those switches into thinking coins are being deposited when they're not. The machine pays out thinking it owes you money. It's genius in its simplicity. Tommy's hooked immediately, not because of the money, though that's nice. He's hooked because he's just seen proof that these so-called unbeatable machines can be beaten. And if this crude device works on the old machines, what else is possible? Within weeks, Tommy and Ray are hitting casinos across Nevada. They're making thousands of dollars, and it's almost too easy. They get cocky, they get sloppy. Within a year, security catches them red-handed. Tommy's arrested, convicted, and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Most people would learn their lesson. Most people would go straight after that. But Tommy Carmichael isn't most people. In prison, he doesn't think about redemption. He thinks about refinement, about doing it better next time, about being smarter. Because Tommy knows something the casinos don't know yet. He's just getting started. It's 1987, and Tommy walks out of prison into a completely different world. While he's been locked up, the casino industry has undergone a revolution. The old mechanical slot machines are gone, replaced by shiny new electronic models with digital displays and computer chips. Casino executives are celebrating. These new machines use optical sensors to count coins. They're convinced that cheating is now impossible. The technology is too sophisticated, too advanced. No crude piece of wire is going to fool a computer. Tommy sees an opportunity where everyone else sees an obstacle. He scrapes together enough money to buy one of these new electronic slot machines and has it delivered to his garage. His neighbors think he's lost his mind. For weeks, he barely sleeps. He takes the machine apart piece by piece, studying every component, every circuit, every sensor, like a scientist dissecting a specimen. He's hunched over this machine at 3 in the morning with a soldering iron in his hand, and he's obsessed because he knows the secret that the casinos don't understand. Every machine, no matter how sophisticated, has a weakness. You just have to find it. Then he sees it, the optical sensor. It's the machine's eye, the thing that counts coins as they pass through the slot. When light hits the sensor, it registers a coin and awards credits. The whole system depends on this one component. Tommy's brain lights up. If the sensor can be fooled, the whole machine can be beaten. He builds something revolutionary in his workshop. He calls it the light wand. It's a miniature flashlight attached to a flexible wire, powered by a small battery. The whole thing is about the size of a thick pen. When you insert it into the coin slot at just the right angle, it blinds the optical sensor. The machine thinks coins are pouring in. Credits rack up. Jackpot. It's brilliant. It's small enough to hide in your palm. It takes seconds to use, and it works on every single electronic slot machine in Nevada. Tommy tests it at a small casino outside Las Vegas. His hands are shaking as he sits down at a machine. He slides the wand into the coin slot, barely visible to anyone watching. He presses the button. The credits start climbing. $100, $200, $500, $1,000. He hits the cash out button, collects his winnings, and walks out. Nobody suspects a thing. No alarms go off. No security guards approach him. He just walks out with $1,000 that he essentially printed himself. Sitting in his car in the parking lot, Tommy realizes something incredible. He's just figured out how to break every electronic slot machine in the world. And the casinos have no idea. The light wand works on everything. Every casino, every state, every machine. It's like he's discovered a master key that opens every lock in Las Vegas, and he's the only one who has it. Tommy Carmichael is back in the game, and this time, he's playing for keeps. But Tommy doesn't keep the light wand to himself. Why make thousands when you could make millions? He sets up a manufacturing operation in his garage. Not just making 1 or 2 devices, he's mass producing them, assembly line style. He starts selling them for $1,000 each to other slot cheats across the country. Word spreads fast in the underground gambling world. Tommy Carmichael has created the Holy Grail, the device that actually works. Soon, he's got a network of over 40 people working for him, hitting casinos from Nevada to Atlantic City. He's not just a cheater anymore. He's running a criminal enterprise. And his operation is sophisticated. He assigns territories to his operators to prevent them from overlapping and raising suspicion. He uses code words on phone calls. He trains them on exactly how to use the devices without getting caught. Keep your sessions short. Never hit the same casino twice in 1 week. Vary your betting patterns. And for God's sake, don't get greedy. The money is rolling in. Tommy's making hundreds of thousands of dollars. His operators are living well too. For years in the early 1990s, they operate with near impunity. Casino security is focused on card counters and dice cheats. They haven't realized that their supposedly unbeatable electronic slot machines are being systematically robbed. But you can't steal millions of dollars from Las Vegas without someone noticing. Casino managers start seeing something strange in their reports. Certain machines are paying out jackpots far more frequently than the math says they should. The odds are impossible. Security footage shows young players winning big after barely playing. No pattern to their bets, no skill involved. Just sitting down, playing for a few minutes, and walking away with thousands. The pattern is undeniable. Someone is cheating. The question is how. The Nevada Gaming Control Board forms a special task force. They start sharing information across jurisdictions, analyzing footage from dozens of casinos, building databases of suspected cheaters, looking for connections. For the first time, casinos across the country are working together, pooling their resources to find whoever is doing this. The net is closing in. Slowly but surely, they're connecting the dots. Different faces, different cities, but similar methods, similar timing, similar results. Tommy Carmichael is about to face his biggest challenge yet, because in Las Vegas, nothing stays secret forever. Casinos panic. They upgrade their machines, adding shields around the optical sensors, redesigning the coin mechanisms. Manufacturers rush out new models with better security. Press releases announce that slot machine cheating is finally, truly, definitely dead this time. Tommy reads these announcements in the newspaper and laughs. Within weeks, he's obtained one of the new machines and dragged it into his workshop. He studies it obsessively, looking for weaknesses, and he always finds one. Always. When they shield the sensors, he designs thinner ones that can slip through the gaps. When they move the sensors deeper into the machine, he creates longer, more flexible tools. When they add timing randomization to the sensor readings, he develops devices that can sync with the machine's rhythm. It becomes an arms race. Casinos spend millions of dollars on security upgrades. Tommy defeats them in his garage for a few $100s in parts. He's always one step ahead. Always. His most ingenious invention is something he calls the monkey paw. It's made from a guitar string and a small metal claw. This device is designed to trip the mechanical switch in newer machines that registers jackpot payouts. It's harder to use than the light wand, requiring precise timing and steady hands. But in the right hands, it's devastatingly effective. Casino security directors are losing their minds. They know they're being cheated, but they can't figure out how. The devices are so small, deployed so quickly, that even surveillance cameras miss them. Frame-by-frame analysis shows nothing suspicious. Just a player sitting at a machine, maybe adjusting their sleeve or scratching their leg, and suddenly winning big. By the time they identify a pattern and flag certain players, Tommy's team has already moved to different cities, different casinos, different identities. They're ghosts. The task force keeps building their case, slowly, methodically. They're tracking movements, comparing footage, looking for the same faces at different casinos, building a web of connections. They know there's an organization behind this. They just need to find the spider at the center of the web. But Tommy's confidence has grown into something dangerous. Arrogance. He's made millions. He's beaten every security measure they've thrown at him. He's been doing this for years without serious consequences. He starts to believe he's untouchable, smarter than everyone chasing him. He's about to learn he's wrong. It's 1996, and Tommy Carmichael walks into a Las Vegas casino with a light wand in his pocket. What he doesn't know is that security has been watching him for weeks. They've identified his face from footage at multiple casinos. They've tracked his patterns. They know exactly who he is. The moment he sits down at a slot machine, they move in. He's arrested on the spot. Game over. But the legal system moves slowly, and Tommy posts bail. And here's where his arrogance reaches its peak. He keeps cheating while waiting for his trial. He genuinely believes he'll beat the charges, that he's too smart to get convicted, that somehow this will all blow over. His operators beg him to stop, to lay low, to prepare for the trial. He won't listen. He can't help himself. The thrill is too addictive. the money too easy. Meanwhile, the casinos have finally caught up technologically. They install completely redesigned slot machines with sealed mechanisms that can't be physically accessed without power tools. They add surveillance cameras specifically focused on coin slots. They train security personnel to recognize the telltale signs: players winning too quickly, fumbling near the coin slot, nervous behavior. The walls are closing in from every direction. In 1998, police raid Tommy's workshop. What they find is staggering. Cheating devices in various stages of production, detailed notes on casino security, records of his entire operation, lists of operators, territories, everything. They have testimony from former associates who've turned on him. They have video footage from multiple casinos showing him in action. They have the devices themselves as physical evidence. The case is overwhelming. There's no way out. Tommy Carmichael pleads guilty. He's sentenced to prison and receives a lifetime ban from every casino in Nevada. The man who'd beaten the system for nearly 2 decades is finally done. His operators scatter. Some go to prison, some go straight. The network collapses without its leader. The golden age of slot machine cheating is over, or so everyone thinks. Here's where the story takes its strangest turn. After serving his sentence, Tommy Carmichael does something that shocks everyone. He goes completely legitimate. He starts a company developing anti-cheating technology. He offers his services to the very casinos he'd spent decades robbing. His pitch is simple and brilliant. Who better to prevent cheating than the guy who did it better than anyone else? Some casino executives are skeptical. This is the man who cost them millions. How can they trust him? But others see opportunity. Tommy knows every trick, every weakness, every angle. He spent years thinking like a thief. Now he can teach them how to think like one too. Tommy becomes a consultant. He helps design tamper-proof mechanisms. He trains security personnel on what to look for. He testifies as an expert witness in fraud cases. It's a complete transformation. From the most successful slot cheat in history to a paid defender of the industry he'd exploited. The irony isn't lost on anyone. The man who cost casinos an estimated $20 million is now getting checks from them. Some people see it as opportunism. Others see genuine redemption. Tommy himself has said he regrets the cheating, that he was addicted to the thrill more than the money. Today's slot machines are vastly more sophisticated than the ones Tommy defeated. They use encrypted software, biometric sensors, AI-powered monitoring systems. Many of these security features exist specifically because of what Tommy taught the industry about vulnerability. In 2012, Tommy broke his silence in a rare interview. He explained his devices, his methods, his mindset. When asked why he kept quiet for so long, his answer was revealing. I didn't want to give casinos any information that might help them. I wanted other people to be able to take their money too. Even decades later, he was still rooting for the little guy against the house. The house still always wins in the long run. The math guarantees it. But for 2 decades, one TV repairman from Oklahoma proved that with enough ingenuity, determination, and a soldering iron, even the most secure system can be beaten. Tommy Carmichael didn't just cheat casinos. He outsmarted an entire industry. He stayed ahead of cutting-edge technology. He built a criminal empire from his garage. And when it was all over, he convinced those same casinos to pay him for his expertise. Now that's the ultimate jackpot.